Hi, this is Bradley. I'm just going to be making a quick video tutorial on script injections, otherwise known as cross-site scripting or XSS. To demonstrate this, I've just made a basic web page. It's a form that takes a user's username, their password, and on submit takes them to a login screen. So if I type in a username, my name Bradley, random password, and I press submit, what you can see is that what's happened is this input has been a request has been made, which is passed over to the server, and the server has used it to generate a welcome page specific to the username. So you can see it's generated a message, welcome Bradley, thank you for logging in. Now if I go back, the basic idea behind script injections is that it's a specific vulnerability of how browsers interpret HTML that allows users to inject scripts into the page that you might not want to be there. So something you might not expect is that the way that this current page is being handled is that I can just write HTML in here and it will just inject it straight into the page. So if I just do the same thing, my name, but I just put it in a h1 tag, you might expect that this would just be inputted in as just one single string sequence. If I press submit, what you can see is it's literally just put the name in here within a h1 element, so I've injected this element into the page. Now, if I can inject a h1 element into the page, what, for example, stops me from, say, injecting a script into the page and then just running that script? So say if I just write a very basic script, an alert message that just says script injection, and I press submit, you can see that nothing here has happened that we can see, but if we go into the error console, we can see a message here. It says, the XSS auditor refused to execute a script because its source code was found within the request. So basically, the browser Safari has this built-in security feature that recognizes I just tried to inject a script into the page and run it, and is blocked that script and not allowing it to run. But if I say go into the elements section, you can see that the script element is now in the page, and if the server didn't handle this, then presumably this information might be passed on to our database as well. And even if in this instance the browser has stopped it from running, maybe there are other instances where this function might get executed and potentially damage our database or access private information we don't want it to access. So in this specific instance it's been blocked, but there might be other instances where it might not be. And to demonstrate this, for example, I can just go straight into Firefox. I can type in the same script. And you might expect that maybe Firefox has a similar security feature that would recognize this and stop it from happening. But if I just say alert a message, hi there, and I just run it, you can see that I've literally just injected a script into this page. I've injected it and the script has just run. It's just alerted the message, hi there. Now, so if we're in this case where whenever a user can input something into the page, there's the possibility they might input some malicious script that we don't want them to run, well, how do we protect ourselves against that? Well, basically, to secure yourself against attack, you should always validate any user-supplied input before returning it to the client system or before storing it in your database. So to demonstrate this, we can go straight to my server. Now, there are two important functions to be aware of. One is called encode URI and one is called decode URI. And basically the idea is that they encode the uniform resource identifier which is being provided, i.e. the URL, and they replace each instant of certain characters with escape sequences which represent the UTF-8 encoding of those characters. So for example, for this key, it would be represented like this. And what you might, so basically by encoding it in this way, when it gets returned, if it was returned in this way, it wouldn't be recognized as a script tag by the page when it was returned, and it wouldn't run. But say there might be instances where we actually want to decode this before we send it back, so there might be certain sequences we don't want to be encoded in this way. So something I've just done, which is a very basic validation of any URL which is provided, which has the name user in it, which is used for the requests. So I can just add this basic if statement that just says, if the body includes this specific sequence, this specific character, we can assume that perhaps a HTML tag is being defined here, and we can stop it from being run. So we just return h1, please try that again without injecting script into my page. Okay, thanks. So if I now do this, and I save it, and I run my server again, and I go back into the page, And I try this again, so say h1, my name. This time round, the information has been validated by my server, and it stopped it from being executed. So in the case of this script, it would not run. So this has just been a very basic video tutorial on the ideas of script injections and just the basic concepts of how you should always be handling any user input which is given to you. Okay, hope it helped. Thank you.